So there's so many women out there that, they're putting in the effort, they're doing all the things, and yet it's not quite getting them where they want to get to. What would you say to that woman?
The thing that I always suggest, first and foremost, is come back to the vision and check in. And first of all, ask, do you love this?
Mhm.
Do you have a burning desire for it? Because what I have found over the years is that people are working towards something that maybe deep down they don't really want, that this is what they should be doing, or they've capped it, right? They've watered it down because the thing that they really want just feels out of reach.
Mhm.
And if something is watered down in any way, shape, or form, we're not going to have the alignment, number one,
Right.
right? Because we're
Right.
driving with one foot on the brake. And we're not going to we won't give permission for it to really show up in our lives. And so that would be the first place that I would start. And then the other piece that I would invite people to do is to notice where you're trying to get to something,
Right.
right?
Right.
I'm trying to, I'm putting it out there. I would encourage you to stop putting it out there and to start coming home to you and learn how to come from it in order to allow it. There's
Hello, my extraordinary women friends. As we move into this next quarter on Extraordinary Women Radio, we are stepping into a new conversation around authority and prosperity. This is a conversation I care deeply about. In my work with women entrepreneurs, I see women who have built meaningful businesses. They have results, they have experience, and they have a depth of wisdom that comes from doing the work over time. And at a certain point, the conversation begins to shift. It becomes less about proving and more about standing in what they know, less about doing more and more about aligning how they lead, how they show up, and how they position themselves in the world. Authority becomes something they embody, and prosperity begins to expand from that place. It shows up in their revenue, in their relationships, and in the way their business supports the life they are building. That's where today's conversation lives. I'm joined by Felicia Searcy, a transformational coach, author, speaker, and the creator of the Human Success Code. Felicia will be joining our amazing lineup of speakers at my 12th annual Extraordinary Women Ignite conference being held in Colorado, November 5th through 7th. And I'm super excited to have her join us. You can get early bird tickets at camigellner.com/ignite. I hope you will be in the room. It's going to be an amazing year and our 12th year. Felicia brings nearly 30 years of experience helping people understand how success actually works. Her work centers on the idea that success isn't random, it follows a pattern, a code. And when you understand how that code is working for you, everything begins to shift. In this conversation, we explore what it means to align with that code, where women unknowingly create gaps in their success, and how stepping fully into alignment changes how we lead, how we show up, and how we create prosperity in our lives and our business. If you have been feeling the desire to step more fully into your authority and create success that feels aligned, expansive, and meaningful, this conversation will meet you there. Let's welcome Felicia Searcy. Well, welcome to Extraordinary Women Radio, Felicia. I'm so excited to have you here today.
I am thrilled to be here, Cami.
Oh, you and I have known each other for a long time, but I think like we're getting to know more of each other in these last couple of years, and I'm loving that. And we're both part of eWomen Network, and it's such a wonderful community. But I love that I'm getting to know more of who you are and know more of your story, and I'm just thrilled to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you, Cami. And likewise, I know we have kind of been circling each other in the uh,
Yeah.
same communities. So
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. Definitely,
uh,
definitely. I would love to hear some of your story. I know you've been doing this work of yours for a long time. Um, Tell us a little bit about your journey that got you to this point.
yeah. So, what I share with people is that, when I hit my late teens, early 20s, I was in a really dark place that, um, the environment I grew up in, my parents did the absolute best that they could, and I deeply appreciate them, but they both struggled with mental illness and addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
terrific amount of violence and instability and food insecurity in my household, and that sort of thing gets wired into you, right?
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
That living in that kind of environment really gets wired into you. And by the time I was 22 years old, life just felt so heavy, so dark, so despairing that I literally, my thought was, if I don't find a different way, I have to find a way out. That I was
Mm.
right there on the edge of,
Wow.
I can't do this. I don't know how to do this.
Right. Right.
And, it's a cliche because they're good, right? That when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And it was in that darkest moment that I got somebody introduced me to spiritual principles, spiritual law.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I went and heard somebody, and I remember hearing for the first time that number one, I was meant to live and thrive. And
Mm-hmm.
number two, that my history did not have to define me. And then
Yo.
three, that I could change my life by beginning to change the way that I saw life and the way that I interacted with life. I mean, you remember that first flush of, oh my God, my thinking has something to do with my results.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed hold of that for everything that I was worth, and applied it and continued to grow, and my life transformed. And as I saw the difference where I came from, there's nothing in my history that would suggest that I would be where I am today.
Yeah.
That I saw the transformation that happened by simply working with some really simple yet profound spiritual principles. I wanted to share these. And so I was in my early mid 30s, and I began to work to share these principles. And, that has morphed and evolved over the years. And I continue to stay deeply immersed in
Mm-hmm.
the study, and I continue to grow and transform, so I can continue to support other people with this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And did you actually become a minister? Is that correct?
Yes,
That's what I
and
thought.
like a bona fide minister. So
Yeah.
it's there's a new thought movement community called Unity.
Mm-hmm.
They teach spiritual principles, and so I had actually moved to Tennessee, and there wasn't really anything around that taught, like, at the time it was like Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay and Joe Dispenza got introduced. And so I started a church, and Unity had a path where I could stay and minister to my community,
Mm-hmm.
and become ordained. So it was actually a 10-year ordination process.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. So how did that evolve into the work you do today? I mean, that's, I mean, such a beautiful journey that you went
Yeah.
that deep. You did all that amazing work. You started sharing it, but there was like this next level of your work that was unfolding.
Yeah. So a couple things happen. Number one, I would watch people come in, and they'd get filled up on Sunday, and they'd get inspired, but they really
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't do anything, right?
Mm,
They
right.
would make incremental changes. They would, like, rearrange the furniture, so to speak, but they weren't making the kind of changes that I knew was possible. And I had hit a plateau, a stuck point. And,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
I
that
hit,
always the truth, what happens for us, right? We get to that place where it's like,
yeah,
there's more here. You're not listening.
that's it, right? And it's that call. What do you want from me, right?
Right. Right.
And I mean, I got really clear to become even more, what's the word I'm looking for? Structured in my
Okay.
study, and to work very specifically with somebody, and unlocking the power of these laws even more. And here was the other thing, Cami. So I had a identity and a belief that the noble way was the way of poverty. Now, my husband was
Mm.
a machine, but it
He
wasn't
was
okay.
he was a money making machine, you
He was
said.
a
Yeah.
money
Okay.
making machine, but it wasn't okay for me to experience wealth
Oh.
from my work. I mean,
Mhm.
I taught school and I taught marginalized populations, which I'm deeply proud of, inner city, rural, stepped into ministry. And, again, I'd watch people listen to the principles, but not really make the kind of changes that I knew was possible. And I actually wanted to start a for-profit business to
Mhm.
be able to go deeper in message, broader in reach, and grow my own personal wealth in order to
Mhm.
be able to give to organizations that I wanted to give to,
Right.
um, and to know what it felt like to be able to open up to allow that kind of abundance for myself. And so as I have built a business, I've been able to go deeper with people that you can't do as a minister,
Right.
and really support them in a very structured way where my clients are making remarkable changes. They're changing, right? And then of course
Mhm.
their life is changing.
Right. Right.
And
That's beautiful.
my company, I'm really grateful. I'm really proud of this, that we give tens of thousands of dollars away to charitable organizations.
Doesn't
And
that feel good? It feels
it
so good to be able to do that.
and here's the wild thing. Shortly after I started my business, my husband started having health issues and had to retire. And
Mhm.
so I'm really grateful that my business now is able to support us. And
Support both of you. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Beautiful.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So I know you talk a lot about success. I mean, that's like you really are helping your clients step into success.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit more about how we stay in alignment with success or how we can get out of alignment with success.
Well, here's the thing, and you know this, the alignment comes first,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That,
absolutely. But we can
um,
get out of alignment too, right? I mean, we
yes.
can be in an alignment and then we can come out of alignment. And I mean, we can go in and out of that.
Yeah, and that's the spiritual journey, right? That's the
Yeah.
master. So,
Yeah.
so I call that. So I have the human success code,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 7 keys
Mm-hmm.
that are, so I laugh about this, right? That they came to me as laws, like the universal laws, because
Okay.
you know, there are laws out there, but they were written 3,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, these need to be updated. But I work primarily with, I know, the audacity, right? I work primarily with
I love it.
entrepreneurs. And somebody said, well, entrepreneurs are going to push back on laws. It's like, okay, non-negotiable keys. These are non-negotiable keys. But the first one is to understand the key of creation, that fundamentally who we are creators. And that
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I'm really inviting people to do is to shift away from seeing themselves as a good manifestor and really starting to own the identity of being a creator as you partner with something bigger.
Oh,
That
I
we
like that.
actually, we're not trying to get, we're receiving this vision,
Mm-hmm.
because the vision is then defining who life is asking us to see ourselves as.
Ooh, I love this so much.
Yeah,
So it's like really tuning into why am I here? How am I supposed to be serving? And then how am I supposed to step into that identity to really
that's it.
show up in that way?
It's,
Yeah.
life sees us in a way that we can't see ourselves.
Yeah. That's so
And
true.
the vision is the reflection of that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so as we learn to live from vision, not trying to get, not trying to manifest,
Right.
but live from vision and really allow the vision to define, as you saying, who are we stepping into? What are we to
Yeah.
own and claim and develop about ourselves?
Yeah.
We automatically come into, and I call it the key of coherence, you call it alignment. Same thing. When we live from that, we're automatically living in alignment.
Yeah.
And so we learn to recognize, right? We're paying attention, that really subtle shift of moving out of I am this woman doing this and living this life, to I'm the woman who created the life I'm currently living, as my attention gets hijacked by what's going on in the world and
Yeah.
conditions and all of that. That when we really learn to pay attention to what we're paying attention to, pay attention to how our bodies are showing up, whether we're feeling expansive or contracted in any given moment,
Mm-hmm.
those are the signals to let us know that we are out of alignment with vision. Because when we're
Yeah.
out of alignment with vision, we're out of alignment with source.
Mm. So true. And it's so interesting because so often in the world of entrepreneurship, people lead with the, how you're going to get to this place, how you're going to, get to this level, how you're going, and the mission, the vision part of it, right? The part of really tapping into why we're here to serve has
Mhm.
always felt like a more important place to lead from. And when you step into that part, the mission of the work that you're here to do, you start calling in the right people around you,
That's it.
because it's a different way of being in our businesses than the
That's it.
striving.
And there's a, one of the keys that I have, or two of them. One of them is the key of circulation.
Mm-hmm.
And people understand that energy flows,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I have discovered over the decades, right? And so I've been studying this for over 4 decades. I got started
Yeah.
when I was 22. I'm 66 now. Do the math, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, Women in particular, we know how to give,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how to receive.
So true.
And when we learn how to receive, then we automatically give. We don't even have to think about giving.
Yeah.
That the giving comes automatically from the receiving. And what happens is that the vision will then shine a spotlight on those elements that we're being asked to let go of. We're being
Yeah.
asked to release. There's a key of release, right? I forgot what the question was, but
Yeah, I did too, but that's okay, because it's exactly what I mean. I like the fact that when we open up to receiving, more comes our way.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because it's we don't, and or even to ask. I mean, so often I even tell my clients, ask for things. Ask for something 3 times a day. Open up to receiving by asking 3 times a day for something. Doesn't matter what that is, and just start to get that muscle of receiving
that's it.
happening, right? I mean, because we don't do that so very well. So you talk about success gaps, and I really like this idea.
Oh,
What
I
are
know what
some?
you're talking about success, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um, so in my mind, talk a lot about success. Success is living from that state of fulfillment and not
Mm,
waiting for achievement. Fulfillment and achievement are two very different things. It's allowing ourselves to be filled with life and knowing that life is fulfilling a promise through us and our desire,
yeah.
and that we are fulfilling life's promise when we say yes to our dream. And when we
Oh,
are here to allow life to fulfill life's promise by means of us, life is fulfilling a promise to us.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about anything else.
Ooh, I like it. Juicy, juicy, juicy. So let's talk about these success gaps that you talk about. What are some of the most common gaps you see that hold women back, even when they are doing so many things right? So it's like they're doing all the things, but there's a gap there that's keeping them from that next space they're going into.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a great question. Here's what I've observed.
Mm-hmm.
People know how to visualize,
Mm-hmm.
right? They know how to raise their vibration, and they know how
Mm-hmm.
to take action. When people are and they're calling themselves great manifestors, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is get energy. Let me do this to get something.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally trying to manipulate energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so the gap then becomes, I have to do something in order to make this happen. Now, I'm not saying that we're not taking action, but it's that belief that it's me. I'm making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
The gap is understanding that we're not making it happen. We're allowing ourselves for this energy to come through us.
I like
Does that make
it.
sense?
It does make sense because it's a complete shift into what are we opening up into. I mean, it's interesting. The word open keeps coming to me. I was doing some journaling the last couple of weeks, and I got some energy work done, and all in the same day. Everything was about open. So I kept seeing like a lotus. I kept feeling the open,
Yeah,
and it's like what you're talking about here is the opening to whatever is here to flow to us
that's it.
versus trying to push or create that way.
Make it happen, right?
Yeah,
And we're all
exactly.
really good at making it happen, getting her done, pushing the
Mm-hmm.
river. And so I think
Mm-hmm.
the gap is in that place of being vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
to life, being
Yeah.
vulnerable to something that maybe you don't understand or don't quite know how to do. But it's that releasing the control,
Mm-hmm.
releasing the illusion that it's up to me. I'm doing
Right.
it. I'm making this happen.
Yeah.
And really just being in that state, go back to receiving that,
Mm.
because we
And
can
that's
take,
so much simpler, right?
oh my God, it's easier and it's more fun, right? That's when it becomes magical.
Yeah. Yeah. Share a story about how at a time where you've done that, where you've really just kind of opened up to receive.
Ooh, on the spot, right? Because this has been my lifelong lesson.
Right.
So there's several things along the way, right? But I think, well, just recently. So just
Okay.
recently, right? That, and I know we talked a little bit about like the last couple of years have been such years of transition for me, the shedding, right? There's been so much shedding that's happened over the last 2 years, and noticing those places in me where I was the one making it happen, right? And life inviting me sometimes in the way that life invites us to let go of something, and just that total internal rearrangement to then make me available to guidance around hiring a team member.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I tried Indeed, nothing really happened in Indeed. Somebody suggested I posted on my profile page, and just literally out of the blue, somebody who's such an amazing fit.
Totally a great person for your team.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
dropped a message, and there she was. And I'm not saying that we don't take action, that there's not effort, but that I had really let go of it needing to be a certain way, and that. So when I talk about the push, the visualizing, the lining up, the alignment, raising my vibration, right? That so many people put so much effort into that actually pushes it away. But
Okay.
that when you are just receiving the vision in vision and allowing yourself just to receive life, knowing that
Mm-hmm.
you're not making it happen, that's when magic can happen. And
Yeah.
it just showed up. I just did a 3-day event, and um, Cami, it was so easy. I'm just, we poured in, and again, it was fun. And, I invited people in to work with me, and, we had 50% of the people that were there that
That's
said yes
awesome. Oh,
to,
that's amazing.
yeah. And so it's that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where life has just become even more easier, if that's the
Yeah.
right way to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. So this whole series that we're on right now is very much around our authority and our, just building our authority and our visibility and how we're showing up in our presence.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons I really wanted to have you on this section is because I see you. I see what you've built. I see what you're building. I see where you're going. And, you've built a true authority space, thought leadership space in the work that you have created. So talk to us a little bit about what that means for you to, actually find yourself in that space where it's like,
Yeah.
I have earned this and I've built this. So tell us just a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the word that comes to me as you're speaking, right, is the word
Mm-hmm.
steward.
Mm-hmm.
That when we really own Like I said, I've been a student of this for over 40 years. I've worked with people over 30 years, but yes, I've got the experience. I've got the wisdom, but more than anything, it's an acknowledgement of the legacy of people that have poured into me.
Right.
And realizing that if I um, deflect my authority, that I'm not being a good steward of what has been given to me.
Right.
And so
Right.
I have an accountability to own what I've learned and developed and cultivated over
Right.
the years. And when we hesitate, people continue to suffer because people
Mm,
want to work with somebody that is grounded and solid. One of the things that I hear repeatedly from people is that one of the reasons they work with me is because of the depth of my belief. Because
right.
it's not just the authority, but it's the belief in you. I have
Right.
the authority, which means I can take a stand and know with an unwavering belief that you are capable. And
Right.
people want that. And when we
Oh, yeah.
back away from
Absolutely.
our authority,
You're not
they
holding the space for them. And you're not
that's
stepping into what you're being called to do, right?
that's it. And people suffer.
Yeah.
Other people
Yeah.
suffer as a
Yeah.
result of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were chatting before we jumped on this call that you had an opportunity to go be in a different space,
Yeah.
but you got called back into this calling of yours. Can you just share a little bit about that? It's like, what
Yeah.
was the knowing that you had that said, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be somewhere else, back into the work that I'm here to do?
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to possibly do some work with a company that I deeply love and
Mm-hmm.
respect, and was very close to, completing my work. And the closer it got, and I realized that as much as I love this person, as much as I love this company, as honored as I am that I've been asked
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
a uh, really beautiful, amazing company, that's not my work. That I could
Yeah.
feel, it's almost like a dimmer switch, right? That I could, the closer it got, the
Ooh,
more involved I
yeah.
became with them.
Yeah.
And it was, and it's a much larger company. And so there's a standardization that I can
Mm-hmm.
appreciate, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like I can feel the dimmer switch go down in me.
What a
Uh,
great way to describe that. Because
yeah,
if you can feel the dimmer switch going down on you, you know that that light needs to come back out and that you're being called for this different pathway. And
yeah.
the universe guided you, right? I mean, that's the beautiful part of it. The universe really opened up the
Turned
door and said, hey,
everything
no,
on
this is
board.
exactly where you're supposed to be. I know
That's it.
exactly. And then what's unfolded, and I've seen it, is that the light of you has been so bright, and that's where I just see it. I totally see it, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing for all of us to know, right? And you know this, we don't arrive, right? And so, as I went through that, I'm very grateful for the depth of spiritual work that I've done. That, I really leaned in and allowed it to transform me at depth, which brought out an even richer layer of work.
Yeah.
What I'm beginning to see is like a legacy work.
Yeah.
And that, the moment we sit on our laurels, we're dead in the water.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's got to keep growing and evolving, right? And I think that's the beautiful thing about being entrepreneurs is that we are in a place where, we build the base of our work, but then there's the whole next level that's supposed to be there, and then the whole another next level. And so
Next.
we're growing and we're evolving always. And like you said, we can't sit back and rest on our laurels. It's like, what else is being called of me here, and how do I step into that?
That's it. That's it. Because one of the things I'll share with my clients is that I don't want them to bring them last year's awareness that I've had to today.
Yeah.
I don't want to get stale. I don't want to get stagnant. And so, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like institutionalized,
Right.
um, that I'm not bringing a deeper, fresher, more evolved understanding of my own in order to support and help them
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important. We keep our own journey of growing and expanding so that we can continue to meet our next level of clients that we show up for and serve.
That's it,
So
Cam.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
How
So
are we gonna do this?
yeah, so there's so many women out there that, they're putting in the effort, they're doing all the things, and yet it's not quite getting them where they want to get to. What would you say to that woman, that, where should she start to just like kind of tap back in and open back up?
The thing that I always suggest, first and foremost, is come back to the vision
Mm-hmm.
and check in. And first of all, ask, do you love this?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
have a burning desire for it? Because what I have found over the years is that people are working towards something that maybe deep down they don't really want.
Mm-hmm.
Think that this is what they should be doing, or they've capped it, right? They've watered it down because the thing that they really want just feels out of reach.
Mm-hmm.
And if something is watered down in any way, shape, or form, we're not going to have the alignment, number one,
Right.
right? Because we're
Right.
driving with one foot on the brake. Um, and we're not going to have we won't give permission for it to really show up in our lives. And so that would be the first place that I would start. And then the other piece that I would invite people to do is to notice where you're trying to get to something,
Right.
right? And trying to,
Right.
I'm trying to, I'm putting it out there. Um, I would encourage you to stop putting it out there and to start coming home to you and learn how to come from it in order to allow it. There's
Mm.
there's a there's a moment when you stop trying to make things happen and you learn how to just be that match, right?
Right.
See
Right.
yourself. Life is asking you to see and
Mm-hmm.
show up in that place of assumption that life has
Yeah.
got you, where you then start making things welcome.
That's like a warm blanket.
Yeah,
What you just said. I'm like, I can just, it's like, oh, I want to wrap those words around me. That's
yeah.
awesome.
And I think to really come home to, so I've got a key of boundless good, to
Hmm.
really understand that life's got us.
Yeah.
Life has got us. Life
Yeah.
is in our corner. It's got our
Yeah.
back.
I like it. I like it. And yeah, I have another question here that ties to prosperity. And when I think about prosperity, I always think about it holistically. I don't ever just
Yeah.
think of it just down the money pathway. But when we think of prosperity, and I'm really thinking, as I think through the work that you're doing, the keys that you teach, the success code, all of that, to me, when somebody is really looking at how they want to bring prosperity into their life, if you are leading from this place of coming home to yourself first,
Mhm.
prosperity is going to feel very different.
Yes. It's not that, so let me say coming home to you and then coming home to source, infinite
Right.
intelligence, this,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the name is, that it goes back to, so often people work to build prosperity from a place of there's not enough.
Yeah.
And if I just had this much money or this much work, or then I'll be okay.
Right.
Um, when we can really come into the knowing that we are more than okay right
Mm-hmm.
where we are, then prosperity is something that just simply naturally grows from that place of knowing fulfillment.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's no longer a need; it's just a natural consequence.
Yeah. So good. So good. I love it. I love it. So, Felicia, where can people learn more about you and more about your work?
Of course, my website,
Mm-hmm.
FeliciaSearcy.com, and,
Mm-hmm.
check now and check back in later because I'm getting everything redone. We'll be launching a new website here in the next couple of months. And then I
Yay.
have a Facebook group that
Oh, cool.
I go in and I do lives every week and we, post. I mean, it's really our way of serving this community to really take these principles and help you unlock the power of them so you can live and create the life that you're here to live.
Awesome. What is the Facebook group called?
It's called the Human Success Code Community.
Okay. And so people can just go search for it and find it. And we can put the link to it in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. The final question I always close with is, what are 3 pearls of wisdom you'd like to leave with us today?
Yeah. Number one, know that desire is not your desire, that there is something bigger seeking to express through you. And so the part of you that wants to apologize
Ooh.
for wanting, that you realize that it's not even a matter that there's no apology. It's receiving what's seeking to express through and by means of you.
Oh my
Number
God.
two,
I love that one.
Number two, realizing that you are receiving something from something bigger. You have everything within you to fulfill that. Doesn't mean it's developed, but you're being invited to step in and see yourself and know that you have everything within you to fulfill it. And then number three, the very fact that you have a desire to serve, and we're talking, entrepreneurs, but although I work with people in all domains of your life, but, particularly in this context, entrepreneurship, the very fact that you have a desire to build something means that there are people that are literally praying for what you're offering. There are people praying
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah.
And when you say yes, you're saying yes to alleviating other people's suffering.
So good. So good. This is awesome, Felicia. Thank you, my friend, for joining us today and sharing all of your good wisdom. And I just can't wait to share this episode. I know my audience is going to love it. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Cammie. It's been a real joy.
You bet.